If you're watching this right now, there's a good chance you've heard people talking about Cinco de Mayo, or maybe you've even been invited to a celebration this week.
And you might be thinking, what do I say? How do I join the conversation? What if I don't understand people?
That's completely normal. Social events can feel challenging in English, especially when there's music, groups of people, and fast conversations happening all around you.
But here's the good news. This is actually one of the best opportunities to practice real, natural English.
In today's lesson, we'll take you inside a Cinco de Mayo celebration in English and show you exactly how to communicate, react, and feel more confident in this kind of situation.
You'll learn what to say, how to ask questions, and how to keep a conversation going even if your English isn't perfect yet.
So if you want to feel comfortable, confident, and ready for real conversations this week, you're in the right place. I'm Anna.
And I'm Leo. If you enjoy learning English through real conversations like this, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the English Talk channel. All right, let's get into today's conversation.
Hey Leo, I'm really glad you made it. I wasn't sure if you were going to come tonight.
Of course I came. You said it was a Cinco de Mayo celebration, and I thought that sounds like something I shouldn't miss.
That's exactly how I felt. It's such a fun event, and honestly, it's a great opportunity to experience something cultural while practicing English at the same time.
Right, that makes sense. Actually, I was a little nervous before coming. I didn't know what people usually do at this kind of celebration.
I understand that. It can feel a bit unfamiliar at first, but don't worry, it's mostly about enjoying food, music, and spending time with people. Nothing too complicated.
That's good to hear. I already feel more relaxed. And the atmosphere here is really nice. There's music, decorations, people talking everywhere.
Exactly. It's very lively. That's a great word to remember. Lively. It means full of energy and activity.
Lively. I like that. Yeah, this place definitely feels lively.
So, have you ever celebrated Cinco de Mayo before?
No, this is actually my first time. I've heard about it, but I never really experienced it in person.
That's perfect then. You'll get the full experience tonight. And if you're unsure about anything, you can just ask. People are usually very open and friendly at events like this.
That's reassuring. I was also wondering, is Cinco de Mayo a major holiday in Mexico?
That's a really good question. It's actually more widely celebrated in the United States than in Mexico. It commemorates a historical victory, but here it has also become a celebration of Mexican culture.
Oh, I see. So it's both historical and cultural.
Exactly. That's a nice way to put it.
Got it. That helps me understand it better.
Do you want to grab something to eat? The food here is usually amazing.
Absolutely. I was just about to ask you that. I'm already starting to feel hungry.
All right, let's go take a look. They usually have tacos, guacamole, grilled corn, a lot of good options.
Wow, that sounds great. I love trying new food, especially when it's part of a cultural experience.
That's a great mindset to have. It makes everything more enjoyable.
Okay, quick question. What exactly is guacamole?
Good question. Guacamole is a dip made from mashed avocados, usually mixed with lime juice, salt, onions, and sometimes tomatoes.
Oh, okay. I think I've tried something like that before.
Probably. It's very popular.
And what about tacos? Are they always spicy?
Not necessarily. Some can be spicy, but you can usually choose mild options too.
That's good, because I'm not very good with spicy food.
That's totally fine. You can just say, I'd like something mild. That's a very natural phrase to use.
I'd like something mild. Okay, I'll remember that. Hey, Anna, could you repeat that word you used earlier, the one about energy, lively?
Of course. Lively.
Lively. Okay, got it. Thanks for repeating that.
No problem at all. Asking for repetition is completely normal, especially when you're learning. All right, what do you feel like trying first?
I think I'll go with tacos. That seems like a safe choice.
Sounds good. And maybe we can share some guacamole too.
Yeah, I'm open to that. Let's do it. This looks really good. I like how everything is colorful and fresh.
That's part of the experience. Food presentation is important in many cultures.
I can see that. It makes the meal more enjoyable.
Exactly. So what do you think?
Wow, this is actually really good. The flavors are strong but not overwhelming.
That's a great way to describe it. Not overwhelming.
Yeah, sometimes food can be too strong, but this feels balanced.
I agree.
You know, I'm really glad I came tonight. At first, I wasn't sure if I would feel comfortable.
That's completely normal. New environments can feel intimidating.
Yeah, but now I feel much more relaxed. Talking with you helps a lot.
I'm glad to hear that. And you're doing great, by the way. Your English sounds very natural.
Thanks, I appreciate that. I've been trying to practice more in real situations.
That's the best way to improve. Do you want to walk around a bit? There's also music and dancing in the other area.
Sure, let's go check it out. I'm curious to see what it's like. Wow, this is even more energetic than I expected.
Right? The music really brings everything together.
I like it. Even if you don't dance, it's still fun to watch.
Exactly. And sometimes just being there is enough to feel part of the experience.
That makes sense. Do people usually dance in groups or individually?
It depends. Sometimes in pairs, sometimes in groups. It's pretty flexible.
That's good. I'm not a very confident dancer.
You don't have to be. It's more about enjoying yourself than being perfect.
Fair enough. I like that perspective.
You know, events like this are actually great for practicing conversational English.
Yeah, I can see that. You hear different accents, different expressions.
Exactly. And you also get used to real-life pacing, which is usually faster than classroom English.
That's true. Sometimes people speak quickly and it can be hard to follow.
When that happens, you can say, "Sorry, could you say that again?" Or, "Could you speak a little more slowly?"
That's helpful. I'll try to use those phrases more often. So, Anna, what do you enjoy most about events like this?
Honestly, I enjoy the combination of culture, people, and atmosphere. It feels very authentic and engaging.
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't feel forced. Everything flows naturally.
Exactly. And that's also how conversations should feel.
That's a good point. I think this experience is helping me feel more confident speaking English.
That's great to hear. Confidence comes from practice, especially in real situations like this.
Yeah, I'm starting to realize that it's okay to make small mistakes.
Absolutely. That's part of the learning process.
All right, I think I'm ready to try talking to someone new.
That's a big step. I like that.
Yeah, I feel more prepared now.
Go for it. And remember, just keep it simple and natural.
Got it. Thanks for the encouragement.
And that brings us to the end of today's conversation at a Cinco de Mayo celebration.
We hope this helped you feel more confident joining conversations in real-life social situations.
Remember, you don't need perfect English to connect with people. What matters is being clear, open, and willing to communicate.
Use simple phrases, ask questions, and don't be afraid to ask for clarification when you need it.
The more you practice, the more natural it will feel.
If you found this helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the English Talk channel.
Thank you for practicing with us today.
Keep learning, keep speaking.
And we'll see you in the next video.
Take care.